It's the final day of the ANC's provincial conference in KwaZulu-Natal. Yesterday, seeing the new provincial leadership announced. Of course, Siboniso Duma takes over as the new chairperson. Today, delegates will vote for additional members. President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to attend the conference to deliver the closing remarks. Now, let's cross over to our reporter Mangoba Mkhunu for more. A very good morning to you, Macingwane. So, a lot of celebration earlier this morning when the new leaders were announced. What can we expect today?
Well, certainly, Morena, a lot of celebrations here at this particular conference for those who were supporting the Taliban. So that is a slate that, of course, that made a clean sweep in this particular conference. They managed to win over the former provincial chair, Sihle Zikalala, at this particular conference. And of course, you would expect that they will hit the ground running. In fact, that is the promise from the new chairperson of KwaZulu-Natal province, Siboniso Duma. He says that they will hit the ground running as far as rebuilding the party and renewal of the party is concerned. But of course, the biggest issue, of course, going into that policy conference will be some of the debates that will be taking place today around some of the crucial policies here that the party wants to discuss. One of them being the step aside resolution, which we know that they've made it quite clear that this is one of the issues that they'll want to be addressed in that particular conference. But of course, the ANC coming into this particular conference, they came here with a disunity. They were not united. There was a lot of political differences, a lot of divisions within the party. So the new chair saying that they are going to ensure that they rebuild this party and that they will not purge any of those former members who were, of course, in the leadership that is outgoing. But let's take a listen to what Siboniso Duma to say.
On the issue of us being revolutionaries, and true revolutionaries are being guided by the true reflection of love. We are just like that. The issue of purging in the ANC is something that the ANC doesn't look to it nicely. We frown upon purging of comrades. So we just have to be clinical. We are going to build, we are going to develop the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and the issue of who Comrade Ntolo has already mentioned, the issue of transition whenever there is a need. But we love each other as comrades. I think we've seen what permeated in this conference. It has been characterized by that, and that is going to assist the movement going forward. In fact, Africans are just like that, but we're going to maintain that, and we're going to build this province. We're going to take it back to where it belongs, the accountability of the traditional leadership, the issue of Nazareth Baptist Church, the issue of the royal household, and the issue of the Board of Trustees already mentioned that that's where the ANC belongs to the larger society of KwaZulu-Natal. So the issue of 2015 is gone and long gone. We are not going to go that if we still want to win the elections, and we are going to win the 2024. And I hope we are not going to believe it now. You'll see when it happens. Thank you so much.
So Macingwane, Unomagugu Simelane was also elected as the deputy chair. She's the only woman in that top 5.
Indeed, it is in fact an indictment for women here in the province. The fact that there is only one woman that has made it to the top 5, Unomagugu Simelane Zulu. Of course, it is also historical for this province, given that this is the first time that we're seeing a woman in such a position in this province. But of course, Unomagugu Simelane is saying that she would take issues of women to the fore. She is going to ensure that she champions the issues of women in the province. But of course, she says that it's very unfortunate that they only have one woman in this particular top 5, because they were hoping that there would be more women in it. But of course, let's take a listen to what she had to say following her victory at this particular conference.
The battle for women and women emancipation within the African National Congress in particular is to make sure that in leadership we have an equal number of women leaders, if not more. Because the society that we live in actual fact, is more than 60% women. So that should be reflected within the leadership of the ANC. Of course, we understand that officials are not a structure in terms of the constitution, but as women of this province, we aspire to have more than one female leader within the officials. But I must say that the question here should be, how does the Women's League of KwaZulu-Natal feel about fielding a woman candidate in the office of the chairpersonship for the first time in history. And I think that is the biggest issue that we should be looking at, because it has never happened before. And I think we should appreciate and congratulate the Women's League and all the women of this province.
Well, that was Nomakuku Simelane, the new deputy chair here in KwaZulu-Natal. But I've got the new provincial secretary just next to me here, just to get some reaction from him. Peggy Mtolo, thank you very much for your time. Let's start here. How do you feel about yesterday's victory? Are you certain that you are going to come out as a united party?
Yes, of course, we're going to come out as a united party, because it's a democratic process that had to go through, and it's normal. There's no victory anyway. It's just given the responsibility to make sure that we drive transformation on behalf of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Because remember, this conference was not about the ANC members and supporters. It was about the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Yeah.
And in terms of some of the big tasks, some of the priorities that you're looking into, of course, we're talking of an ANC that is still divided very much in the province, which has cost you also in terms of the electorate. So what will be some of your key priorities as the provincial secretary going ahead with the tasks that you've been charged with?
Yeah, I think we must also try to not consume ourselves about our internal issues. Remember, the ANC doesn't exist for its members and its supporters. It exists for the people of South Africa. We must make sure that when we come into office, we start programs while we are trying to sort our house in order, which affects a minor of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. But our bigger priorities must be about how to solve the problem that are facing the people of KwaZulu-Natal. And you've seen our team. Our team was very simple, is that we are here to make sure that we are facing the challenges that are facing the people of KwaZulu-Natal and want to solve them. And you will know that those challenges about there are areas in KwaZulu-Natal that still don't have water, in areas like Umzinyati, for example, municipality, district municipality, areas like Umkhanyagute, and many other areas like Utugela and Ugu. We need to make sure even areas that got water, that don't come out on daily basis. Issues of service delivery, issues of building more schools. We've done a lot in terms of building schools. I think we've built the best schools you can think of, but we must continue with that program. Issues of making sure that we take primary health care to the most downtrodden people. Issues of making sure that we rejuvenate our road network, because road network is important in terms of economy and all that. But also making sure that we meet with other stakeholders, build harmony amongst various sectors of society. It's all about the people of KwaZulu-Natal, not about the ANC alone.
Of course, in this particular election, there was only one woman that made it to the cut, that is Nomakuku Simelane. Is this not an indictment for women in the party, especially when it comes to leadership positions and top positions?
In fact, it's a progress. Remember, in KwaZulu-Natal, it's the first time that you got a woman of a fairly young age, like Nomakuku, who assigned to the position of deputy chairperson. It's a progress. Yes, we are not there. We would have wished to be there, but it's a progress from history. Then we must take that, consolidate, and advance.
Okay, and then just finally, in terms of the party, you've spoken a lot that there won't be patching of any people in this particular leadership. Going forward as the party, what are you promising the people of KwaZulu-Natal, especially knowing that there is an election that is going to take place 2 years from now?
Yeah, the people of KwaZulu-Natal, what we can tell them is that we as the elected leadership will work with the provincial and local government hand in hand and make sure that we improve service delivery and we connect with the people on the ground and respond to their issues timeously, effectively and efficiently, and making sure that we use resources of the state in the betterment of our people.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. That was Peggy Mtolo, the new provincial secretary of the ANC here in KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, they have the unenviable task of uniting this party post this particular conference. Well, we are expecting that there will be more nominations that will be made today. As far as the additional members are concerned, those will form part of the new provincial executive committee of the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And of course, after that, we are expecting the all-important policy discussions to take place. They will break into those different groups and plenary sessions where they will be discussing some of those key policies ahead of the National Policy Conference that is taking place next week. But of course, I think the big moment that we're waiting for is to hear that closing speech by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Of course, we are seeing already that there's tight security here at this area, Muren. I can tell you that there are sweeps that are taking place right now, and there's a lot of police here, Morena, that are really outside this particular venue. We are expecting proceedings to begin round about 9 o'clock this morning. We have been told they will begin round about 9 o'clock because there's still a lot of work that still needs to be done as far as those discussions and completing and wrapping up this particular conference is concerned.
All right, Maqongwane, we will leave it there with you. Thank you very much. That is our reporter, Manqoba Mchunu, who is in Durban and, of course, has been following the ANC elective conference in KwaZulu-Natal. As he did mention, there is an expectation of the head of state, President Cyril Ramaphosa, of course, who is also president of the ANC, to make the closing remarks at the end of the conference later on today. So we will definitely be keeping up with that with Manqoba Mchunu, who is out there for us.